Hallo zusammen, I'm your vlog Dave, and today I'm gonna talk about The Witcher, or should I rather say Der Hexer. Don't worry, they didn't translate the title to German for the show, or for the books, or for the video games. No. So yeah, I pretty much just watched the final episode of the first season, and what can I say, it was really awesome. I think apart from that one, my favorite episode was the 6th one, I think it was, with the dragon. Der Drache, by the way, in German. You might have noticed that I keep translating stuff from The Witcher to German. But why? This video is about The Witcher being Germanized or Germanified, translated to German in a way, here and there. So let's do that. Let's learn some German with The Witcher.
That's it.
So yeah, I'm really glad that they kept the original title of the show, because otherwise the show would have been titled Der Hexer, singular, Die Hexe, plural, The Witcher. I mean, to be quite honest with you, Hexer or Der Hexer might also have sounded quite badass. And just to clarify things real quick, this video is mainly based on the Netflix show, not the books and neither the video games. Although I'm also gonna mention some video game related stuff, I think. Haven't read the books yet, so can't really say too much about them. But yeah. Similar to English, we distinguish between different genders here. A witch is die Hexe, singular, die Hexen, plural. And although the lines between witchers, magicians and sorcerers and wizards and who else is there, I don't know, can be thin and blurry at times, all of these words often refer to different parties. For instance, you could distinguish between good versus evil by using different words. One of them is der Zauberer, singular, die Zauberer, plural, the wizard or sorcerer, which I think sounds more evil than wizard. So there you could actually differentiate. And of course, to a certain degree, all of that is down to personal taste and whatnot, but I truly think that sorcerer sounds way more evil than wizard. Anyway, the feminine equivalent to Zauberer is die Zauberin, singular, die Zauberinnen, plural, the female wizard or sorceress. Some people also refer to Geralt as der Schlächter von Blaviken, the butcher of Blaviken, for der Schlächter, singular, die Schlächter, plural, also commonly used as der Schlachter, singular, die Schlachter, plural, the butcher or slaughterer. It basically functions as a nickname or moniker, which is der Spitzname, singular, die Spitznamen, plural, which, by the way, would translate to the pointy name, literally. Another moniker of his is Weißer Wolf, White Wolf. Well, quite a lot more charming, I think, for der Wolf, singular, die Wölfe, plural. And being a proper Hexer, he usually only works for money, das Geld, singular, die Gelder, plural. Whereas Yennefer von Wengerberg would probably be called a sorceress, Geralt von Riva is a Hexer, as der Mutant, singular, die Mutanten, plural, he differs from most other species anyway. Now, you might have noticed the term von in both names. It's a German preposition, and pretty much the equivalent of or from in English. And it's not only limited to names either. Similar to some English names of people that belong to der Adel, only singular, the nobility or nobleness, the additional preposition von directly hints the geographical and social origin of a person. And even though der Adel doesn't really exist in Germany anymore, we still have, well, quite a few names with von in them. So in past decades, those kinds of names mainly referred to people that really belonged to der Adel and that were Adlige, der Adlige, singular, die Adligen, plural, the nobleman or lord. Especially a couple of centuries ago, people didn't really have proper surnames yet, surnames that we know today, and that also partially originate from older names. For instance, Miller refers to an occupation one might have had, like for instance your father or your grandfather. Other names are pretty much, well, referring to where you're from, or pretty much a place that you and your life is associated with in a way or another. And obviously in the case of Geralt, it's Riva, Geralt von Riva. I guess a prominent German example would be Walter von der Vogelweide, a well-known medieval German poet and lyricist. Basically Walter from the bird meadow or bird range, or yeah, something like that. But back to witchers and sorceresses. Honestly, say what you want about the German language for being so complicated and all its different words for similar things here and there at the end of the day, but at least it's mostly consistent and consequent. What I mean by that is, different nouns lead to different verbs and the like. For instance, in German you could say something like Der Hexer hext, which basically would mean the witcher is witching. And pretty much analog to that, you could also say Der Zauberer zaubert. The sorcerer is sorcering. Both pretty much mean the same, but each noun has a, well, related verb, and they correlate. You could also very well say Die Hexe zaubert, that's not wrong at all, just so you know, but you know, Der Hexer hext and Der Zauberer zaubert, that sounds even smoother, doesn't it? The abstract ability of being able to conjure things or to perform magic is Die Magie, the magic, or Die Zauberei, the sorcery or wizardry, or Die Hexerei, the witchcraft, or Die Verzauberung, the enchantment. Alright, so let's talk about Geralt von Riva a bit more in detail. He has graues Haar, das Haar, singular, die Haare, plural, the hair. His Haar is grau, grey. It's quite long, and no matter how hard he's fighting, his Frisur, die Frisur, singular, die Frisuren, plural, his hairstyle always sits tight. His Augen, das Auge, singular, die Augen, plural, eyes are, well, actually more a mixture of brown, and orange. In general, he is quite athletisch, athletic, and muskulös, muscular. Besides his magical abilities, he carries a huge Schwert, das Schwert, singular, die Schwerter, plural, the sword. Well, actually he carries two, at least in the video games, one for magical creatures and one for non-magical ones, I believe. He also commonly wears a Kette, die Kette, singular, die Ketten, plural. Yennefer von Wengerberg carries a hill or mountain in her name, basically a mountain named Wenger. Der Berg, singular, die Berge, plural, the hill or mountain. Yennefer has long, schwarz, black hair. To Geralt and the viewers, and I guess most other people, she can be very mysterious. Pretty much right at the start of the show, Geralt almost immediately meets his new companion or sidekick, Rittersporn. In this case, it's a name for a Bade. Der Bade, singular, die Baden, plural, the bard. But in a different botanical context, der Rittersporn refers to a plant, Larkspur. Being a German compound word, it contains the noun der Ritter, singular, die Ritter, plural, the knight, whereas der Sporn, singular, die Sporen, plural, can also refer to different things. In the context of the show, it could typically refer to this, the spurs, being a plural term in English. And talking about the horse, das Pferd, singular, die Pferde, plural, although most Germans actually say Pferd and Pferde and not Pferd. In German, Geralt's Pferd is called Plötze. And even if you don't know the origin of the name Plötze, it's a really funny name, I think. Its English name, Roach, also refers to the same origin, by the way, die Plötze, a European fish. It's also known as das Rotauge, the red eye in German. Who knows what Geralt really had in mind there? Technically, Plötze isn't just one, but multiple horses in a way, since Geralt names every single one of his horses Plötze. And why do I keep saying Plötze that way? Because, well, in the German dubbing of The Witcher 3, he really calls him like that, with that emphasis, if you want.
Komm schon, Plötze. Lauf, Plötze. Nicht so schnell, Plötze. Plötze, Plötze, Plötze.
Ciri, or Cirilla, was born and raised in Cintra, basically as die Prinzessin, singular, die Prinzessinnen, plural, the princess. I think she's a really interesting character because, well, speaking of this first season of The Witcher, she seems to be a centerpiece of the whole puzzle, but then again, she really is not really so much in the foreground, I don't think. I mean, she is a very mysterious figure, and I wonder what will happen next. So, I heard you find my videos helpful, entertaining, and you really enjoy them? Well, thank you very much in the first place. The crowdfunding page Patreon is definitely one of the best ways to say thank you, Dave, and to support me. Honest, heartfelt thanks for doing that, because every little bit helps. Thanks for your attention, and now enjoy the rest of the video. Of course, she lives in a Königreich, that's true. Das Königreich, singular. Die Königreiche, plural, the kingdom. And more specifically in a Burg. Die Burg, singular. Die Burgen, plural, the castle. And of course, I could tackle many more things in and around the Witcher world, but this should do for now. And of course, I want to know, what do you think about the first season of The Witcher? Did you know Geralt before, like his story and what it's all about? Or was everything completely new to you? Tell me in the comments, and also make sure to check out the video description with many interesting links to my social media channels and support options for the channel, such as PayPal or Patreon. If you want to support me like that, that's greatly appreciated, of course, helps a lot, and I can't thank you enough. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, also feel free to share it with others who might also be interested in both the German language and The Witcher. At the same time, maybe, simultaneously even, I don't know. Anyway, what I do know is that it's the end of this video, and I really enjoyed making it. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.
Plötze.